Okay, this video just went crazy. No, it didn't. I don't know. It tried to push a button, even though I didn't hit the button. Anyway, etiology. Okay, yes, it did. My phone is really slow. Now it's not responding. Come on, seriously? What is the science of etiology? It is. Etiology is also the name for the study of the causes of disease. It can also refer to the study of cause of things in other fields, such as philosophy and physics, but it is mostly commonly used in contexts of medicine. Okay, so etiology is the study of disease, or the causes of a disease. But what if the etiology turns into a lack of information? What if it turns into a scientific flaw? What if the system is not apparent? What if we think that everything is true, but it can be totally rearranged in a different way from different sources, meaning that different things can be the cause and effect of what actually is driving something that is relative to the cause and effect. So, like something that is unknown. So, like, what if, say, schizophrenia is misunderstood both in etiology and in therapy? What if that schizophrenia was cured by food? What if it was a certain diet that you needed? What if it was actually a virtue? What if it was simply energy? How much energy you have that causes symptoms of schizophrenia? Or what if it was just ignorance and confusion, and the disease is not really factually based? What if they can't measure schizophrenia currently? They don't know how to test to see, other than your behavior, that you have schizophrenia. Well, that's a really good indication that they can confuse schizophrenia with PTSD or any other problems like ignorance or people telling lies or conspiracies. And, delusions and stuff like that can happen to people when they're young. There's a lot of people feeding people spirituality, magic, religion, the belief in God, the Almighty Powerful. And when you're young, you start to believe, because the world is beautiful, you start to think that it was all just set here, and behind the scenes there's some kind of magic power. Well, people start dwelling on that, and they're calling that schizophrenia. Well, I don't think that's schizophrenia. I think that's simply just confusion. That's lack of understanding. That's just solely ignorant. Okay? And then it gets into sensations and the cause, more other causes of delusions, like the deeper causes, like hearing voices, seeing things that aren't there, uh, uh, believing things that have never been proven, all that stuff. Well, I still don't think that that's absolutely what we call schizophrenia a disease. I don't think it's a disease. I think that's the problem with the etiology in the beginning, is that many things are triggers for this so-called illness. And what happens is that they confuse it a lot of times with so-called PTSD, I think, where people are victims of situations. And I would say that if you are diagnosed with schizophrenia, you're a victim, but not necessarily a schizophrenic. So the etiology and the pathology and the prognosis and the diagnosis may be inaccurate, and the evidence is unclear for sure. So let's not get too hasty here about medicine. Medicine is in its infancy stage, and there's very much good work in medicine, but it's not a complete science. There's a lot that they really haven't reworked and mixed up. There's some things that are quite confusing about the body and how the feet pertain to the mind, or how the stomach pertains to the heart, and how the lungs pertain to the heart. And, it's a big chain reactive active system. And in the midst of disease, it makes it even more of a chain reaction. So in the midst of healing is even a third dimension to the reaction. So it can be quite confusing. Plus, there's positive and negative feedback loops. Plus, we are a genetic entity that can change. There's many dimensions to medicine. It is very quantum physical. So don't throw an absolute on any medicine whatsoever. This is my gift to you. I promise you this is accurate. Do not throw an absolute on a medicine. Be sure that you understand who you are and what you feel like. Understand security. Understand truth, ultimately. And the truth is not totally known. No one can say that it is. However, it's up to us to seek and find. Okay, so I'm familiar with religion. I'm not an expert, but I've read quite a bit. I understand the theories of aliens. I understand all of these things, but I don't condone that they're true, because I have never truly 100%, if at all, witnessed these things. So I have a normal mentality, but I require evidence. And that is to trace out all of the dimensions and the atoms and molecules and polymers and the energies, and show that they exist. So this is my video on etiology.